Hello and welcome to today's live lesson with me and with AM Language. Today we are going to look at developing your listening skills, and to do this, I have a little story that I can share with you. It's not a real story, it's not a true story, but it's a story, and it involves music taste. And there are some bands that are mentioned, some old and some new. But also means that I get to share some music with you. Irina says, hello, Irina, lovely to meet you. No, not meet you, sorry, lovely to see you, sorry, online. I apologize. But lovely to see you online. I'm just going to share today's lesson with you, and then I'm going to share today's lesson so it can be shared online, and then we can begin properly. Leodina says, hi, Leodina. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, and can I share it? I hope I can share it. Yes, I can share it. Excellent. Share. And okay, there we go. So one of the things I have in mind with with these lessons on YouTube is I would like to try and share some English speaking culture as well. I think that's a really important part of learning a language, learning part of the culture as well. And music is one part. Obviously, when you think of English music, you think of probably more often than not, maybe American music, and maybe classic English music, like, well, classic rock, for example. But music is a great way to learn a language, as is food. So when looking at the story today that I have for you to develop your listening skills, that's the idea of what the subject, what the topic will involve. Now, I know that we will always have different levels here watching, so I have something for everyone, for low levels, for medium levels, and for upper levels as well. So I have something for everyone, and hopefully everyone can follow. I have to think of my speaking very carefully because this is a listening one. I don't want to speak too quickly, but I don't want to speak too slowly either. Otherwise, it does not help. So I need to try and make sure I find the right speed. I'll give people a few more minutes to join, and then I will begin. I'll start off by telling you guys about different techniques that we need to look at when developing listening skills, and then we'll go into some exercises so we can work on those skills. Evelina says, hi, Evelina. Welcome to today's lesson. Thank you for joining. It's a lovely day today. It's really hot. And it's now that annoying time of the year where if you're indoors, you need to have the fan or the AC on. And if you leave it on you for too long, you begin to get a sore throat. You begin to, you become uncomfortable. But if you go outside during the day, it's really hot. And the only place you want to be outside is at the beach. You don't want to be in a car, for example, in traffic jam, that's for sure. And trying to do exercise outside at the moment is difficult. I tried to do exercise yesterday in the evening after this lesson. It was about 5:30, and it was just really hot, really, really hot. For me, it's now too hot to run. I find it difficult to run in this sort of if the sun is out, it's too difficult to run. It either has to be before sunrise or sometime at night, I think, to run, because it's just so hot during the day. Like I said, the only place you want to be is at the beach, to be honest. Okay, so I'll begin the actual content of the lesson. So the first thing I want to to talk to you guys about is let's look at two types of listening. That's going to be really important. We'll start off with that. If we have time for a third, we'll do so. Sandra says, hi. Hi, Sandra. Thank you for joining. So, oh, and Stefano says, good afternoon, dear teacher. Thank you very much, Stefano, for joining. So, before we start, make sure you like the video. Always important to like the videos. So, listening. The first type of listening we will look at is true or false or not given. Now, these type of questions in the listening task can be a little bit difficult, mainly because of the not given bit. The not given can be quite difficult because sometimes you might think, oh, it's true or it's false because there's from hidden meaning in text. And this is something really important. Be careful about hidden meaning. When it comes to listening tasks, a not given is when it simply is not mentioned. So, for instance, you might be hearing a conversation between two people. You hear it's someone's birthday, and the question might be, it's John's 30th birthday. If the type of birthday, the number, his age is not mentioned, it's then not given. But the thing about this that can make it so difficult with listening tasks as you get higher and higher and higher up the level is it becomes harder to hear because it sounds more like a natural conversation. And something called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing, for those of you who might not know, is when you hear the answer said, but with slightly differently than what you would see written. And that's a really important thing. So how can this help you? Well, the first thing you guys need to do, and you need to do well, is read the questions very, very carefully. So let's look at this to begin with. I am going to show you the answers, not the answers, the possible answers of true, false, or not given, and we'll look at this together. Oh, okay, yes, that's a point. There are too many questions for the size, so I'll have to. How many can I? Maybe can I do 3 at a time? Maybe will that work? I think 3 at a time can work. That shouldn't be too many words for the live chat. Yeah, I think this would be fine. Okay. Yeah, I see. I see how this is going to work here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this individually. I think it'll just be easier because I don't want you guys to all of a sudden get confused or anything like that. So I'm going to do this individually. So let's look at the first questions. You've got A, this barbecue is a birthday celebration. The second sentence, sorry, that we need to think about, the second answer we need to think about is the theme of the barbecue is based on Spice Girls. Next one, it is Kate's birthday. It is Kate's birthday. Sentence D, and we'll have to think about this one very carefully because there's some numbers in it. Kate only liked the Spice Girls when she was aged 5 and 12. Kate and John, yeah, Kate and John came to the barbecue together. John is speaking to Kate's younger brother. And finally, Kate does not like rock and roll music. So that Those are the sentences that we need to think about. Let's go through this. So the first thing you guys need to do, and you need to know how to do very well as you get higher up in the levels, is when you look at these sentences that you need to hear and listen to, you need to think about what are the important statements. So this is a birthday celebration. So the key word here, this barbecue is a birthday celebration. So obviously the word over here that we need to think about carefully, that we need to listen out for, is a reference. And when I say reference, it means the speakers say it. They say something that is either exactly this barbecue is a birthday celebration, or the alternative is there's a discussion about this barbecue being a birthday celebration. So you will not hear the speaker say this barbecue is a birthday celebration. You will not hear that. You'll hear the meaning said. So maybe as a conversation, someone says, so what is this barbecue for? Oh, it's a birthday celebration. So we have to think of how we're going to hear the answer in context. Then when you hear B, the theme of the barbecue is based on Spice Girls. Now, this is potentially a difficult one to answer. Are they just talking about music that they're going to be playing, or is it a theme, meaning people will come dressed as Spice Girls? So this is what we need to think about. The careful word here is theme. That's a key word. Theme is people are going to have to dress up as Spice Girls. And then obviously we've got a band called Spice Girls. And like I said, if it's a theme and if they say people are going to come dressed as Spice Girls, that says this is the theme of the party. Otherwise, maybe it's just that they're going to be playing some Spice Girls music, for example. Next one is, it is Kate's birthday. Now, this sentence, sorry, might seem, well, that's quite easy. Careful. When you have a conversation, let's say with two different people, we might be having to listen out very carefully. They might not mention Kate. They might be referring to Kate by the pronoun she. Now, if they refer to the pronoun of Kate as she instead of her actual name, it means we have to follow the conversation very carefully. So it means at some point we will hear the name Kate, but then we need to listen very carefully to the rest of the conversation. Okay, we know there's a person named Kate, but if I hear someone's birthday party and the name is she talking about Kate, or is she talking about someone else? This is really important to hear. And this is where things can begin to get a little bit difficult. So it's a simple sentence, but trying to hear it can be difficult. Next one. D, Kate only liked the Spice Girls when she was aged 5 and 12. Keywords here, only, because only has a very specific meaning. So you would have to circle only. And when she was aged 5 and 12. Now, what does this mean? We don't have the word between. So if we don't have the word between, it does not mean she liked the Spice Girls aged 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It means, this question here means she liked Spice Girls specifically when she was 5 and 12, not in between. So this type of question can be really annoying. And it's because of when we take out a preposition like between and only. And only is a really important part of the meaning of this text. Let's look at the next one. Kate and John came to the barbecue together. Again, you're not going to hear someone say, oh, Kate came to the barbecue with John. That would be far too easy. This, again, we're going to be hearing a conversation between two people. We need to be able to follow the conversation. And let's say it's John who's talking to someone. we need to think about how might we hear the answer. Again, what are the other pronouns for Kate? It could be she, or it could be her, for example. Maybe we might have a situation where John says, oh, I came with her. Or maybe it says, you came with her, didn't you? It might not, we might not hear it like that, but this is the sort of thing you need to think of before listening. When we have names, what are the pronouns of the names? How could we hear the possible meaning? Let's look at the next one. F. John is speaking to Kate's younger brother. Now, the important word here is younger. This is the exact sort of question that has all the sort of indications of, okay, let's say you're hearing John speak to a guy, okay, to another person. One, do we have an idea that the person is in fact Kate's brother? And two, how do we know it's Kate's younger brother? This is the type of question you need to think about very carefully, because it's one of those which could be a prime example for a not given answer, as well as a typical false one as well. Usually the ones which end up being not given is usually between, is it false or not given? That's why it can be really annoying, the not given ones. Finally, we've got G. Kate does not like rock and roll music. Now, this is going to be this can be a really difficult one. This is now very general because it says Kate does not like rock and music. If we say Kate does not like rock and roll music, we can see there's no indication of time. This is not talking about when she was young. This isn't talking about when she's now even. It's just saying Kate does not like rock. Well, okay, it is a present simple. So if it's a present simple, we can probably think, okay, by the grammar, it's probably talking about now. So there's no time marker, but the grammar is present simple. So maybe it is talking about the present. But at the same time, for instance, we have to think about the rest of the context we might hear. Maybe she used to like rock and roll, but she does not like rock and roll in the present, for example. These are the type of questions you need to think when reading through sentences in a listening exercise, because you need to think of the possibilities. This way, you create a little funnel. So you've got lots of possibilities that you have thought of. And so as you listen, the funnel will get smaller and smaller and smaller, making it easier to hear if it's a yes, true, false, or not given. So what I'm now going to do, guys, is I am now going to read the conversation. It's between two people. These are the answers, and we need to think about true, false, or not given. What you guys need to do for me is listen. I will go through the conversation twice, and then I would like you to give me your answers at the end. Okay, try and give me the answers at the end. If you have a pen and paper, it will make the task easier. So let's begin. Okay. To help out, I'm just going to change my voice a little bit. So I'm going to jump from speaking in my normal English accent to an American accent. John is English and the other person is American, okay? This is just to help you guys hear when you can hear that a different person is speaking. So let's begin. Hi, John. Nice to see you. Where's Kate? She's coming. She's just parking the car. How is the birthday girl? She's good. She had a good week, and I'm sure she'll enjoy her birthday barbecue that you have kindly organized. Well, knowing Kate liked Spice Girls as a child, I chose to organize a Spice Girl themed barbecue. That's a point. How long was she into the Spice Girls? Well, I remember between the ages of 5 and 12, she used to listen to them all the time. To be honest, I never liked them, as I've always preferred rock and roll. As my room was next to hers, I had to put up with it. Well, I can tell you, Kate still listens to them sometimes, but these days she listens to more rock and roll, which is great because I also like that style of music. Actually, she was listening to this new band in the car on our way over that sounded a lot like Led Zeppelin. Ah, by any chance, was it Greta Van Fleet? Yes, that's right. They are a young band and they are really good. It's true, they sound similar to Led Zeppelin, but they have their own unique style. Okay, so that's take one. I'll read it again one more time. Hi, John. Nice to see you. Where's Kate? Oh, she's coming. She's just parking the car. How is the birthday girl? She's good. She had a good week, and I'm sure she'll enjoy her birthday barbecue that you have kindly organized. Well, knowing Kate liked Spice Girls as a child, I chose to organize a Spice Girl themed barbecue. That's a point. How long was she into the Spice Girls? Well, I remember between the ages of 5 and 12, she used to listen to them all the time. To be honest, I never liked them, as I've always preferred rock and roll. As my room was next to hers, I had to put up with it. Well, I can tell you Kate still listens to them sometimes, but these days she listens to more rock and roll, which is great because I also like that style of music. Actually, she was listening to this new band in the car on our way over. That sounded a lot like Led Zeppelin. By any chance, was it Greta Van Fleet? Yes, that's right. They are a young band and they are really good. It's true they sound similar to Led Zeppelin, but they have their own unique style. Okay, guys. So now that you've heard the listening twice, have a go. Let's see. Can you try and give me your answers? A. This barbecue is a birthday celebration. Is that true, false, or not given? B. The theme of the barbecue is based on Spice Girls. Is this true, false, or not given? C. It is Kate's birthday. Okay, so we have the first answer. Irina has come in saying A, T for true. This barbecue is a birthday celebration. Okay, guys. So I'm going to, when you guys come out with the right answer, I will tell you that it's the right answer. So, Irina, thank you for being the first, and you are correct. Well done. A is true. This barbecue is a birthday celebration. So Sandra says A is true and B is true. The theme of the barbecue is based on Spice Girls. Okay, 2 out of 2 already. Well done. So yes, Leondino, you are also correct. So A is true and B is true as well. Good, well done. Okay, so far you guys are agreeing with each other. Good, well done. C, it is Kate's birthday. What do you guys think? Evelina, yes, you are correct. C, it is Kate's birthday. What do you guys think? Sandra says T for true. This is probably one of the harder ones to get right because there's a conversation between two people. Stefano says A true, B true, C not mentioned, D false, E true, G false, F not. Okay, so Stefano has come in with all the answers here. However, Leondina, Sandra, and Arena all think C is true. You are correct. C is true. It is, in fact, Kate's birthday. How do we know this? So it says, hi, John. Nice to see you. Where's Kate? Oh, she's coming. She's just parking the car. How is the birthday girl? So within the first three lines, we can hear that they're talking about the birthday girl. The only girl we have heard at this point is Kate. So it tells us it's talking about Kate. So well done, guys. D. What do you guys think? Now, D, Stefano said D is false. Kate only liked the Spice Girls when she was aged 5 and 12. Now, D, okay, all of you are coming out now saying D is false. And D, well done, guys. D is, in fact, false. So well done, Stefano, Jorge, and Leodina. Yes, D is false. That, well done. E, Kate and John came to the barbecue together. Let's see. What do you think about E? Evelina, yes, well done. You are correct. What about E? Did John and Kate come together? Again, this is quite a difficult one because the answer was indicated towards the beginning of the actual listening rather than halfway through. E is true. Okay, Leondina's coming with true. Do any of you agree with Leondina? Is E true? Is E true? Actually, what did Stefano say? Stefano also thought it was true. Okay. Yes, guys, E is true. They did come together. And that is indicated because you can hear, where's Kate? Oh, she's parking the car. Well, if she's parking the car, we can clearly hear that, okay, they must have come together. That tells us in the conversation that they came together. The next, oh, Sandra has jumped ahead with G, saying G is false. Kate does not like rock and roll music. Oh, not given. Leondina thinks F is not given. Okay. What about, oh, this is F, isn't it? F, sorry, F. John is speaking to Kate's younger brother. Yes, Leondina, you are correct. F is definitely not given. There's no indication that the person she's talking to is Kate's younger brother. So well done, Leondina. Not given is the correct answer for F. Stefano, you're also correct because you put it as not mentioned. So that's not given. Well done. G. Sandra says G is false. Kate does not like rock and roll. Do you guys agree with Sandra? Think about towards the end. Think about towards the end. Okay, we have this little thing saying, well, I can tell you, Kate still listens to them sometimes, but these days she listens to more rock and roll. So because of that, we can hear something slightly different. So you guys are saying false. So if we think of the question as the sentence, Kate does not like rock and roll, you guys are correct. That is a false statement. So well done, Sandra. Well done, Leondina. Well done, Evelina. And well done, Stefano. Yes, G is false. So well done, guys. Bravo. Fantastic. Now, I'm just going to briefly mention, guys, I'm sure most of you might have heard of Spice Girls, which was a very famous pop band back in the early 90s. I'm sure some of you have heard of Led Zeppelin. For me, Led Zeppelin is one of the greatest rock bands in history. Personally, my favorite rock band, along with AC/DC and Pink Floyd. Led Zeppelin is brilliant. But I'm in the description underneath this, I am going to share a link to a Spice Girls song, a Stairway to Heaven song, and a new American rock band called Greta Van Fleet. Greta Van Fleet, they're aged between 18 and 21, and they do sound a lot like Led Zeppelin, a really good young rock band. They've already won a Grammy Award. I'm just going to share that music in the description below, because part of learning a language is also to learn the culture and the things that people like to listen to. So I just want to share some music. I'm not going to lie, Led Zeppelin, rock and roll, that's my type of music, but I know lots of people like Spice Girls, and if I'm being honest, Spice Girls is a good band to listen to learn English. It's very easy to hear. It's a good band to listen to learn English. Led Zeppelin, I'm not sure how good they are really to learn English too. I've never made a lesson with them. But Greta Van Fleet are a really good young rock band. So I'm going to share that in the description below, so you guys can go and check out this new young American rock band. Really impressive. I do recommend it. So guys, let's look at the next thing that we're going to look at. And for the next task, it's the sort of listening task where you've got a bit of the sentence, but there's a missing word. And sometimes they might say things quickly and you're like, oh, I don't know what they said. So let's look at the exam technique we can use to try and help us with this, okay? So we've got something like this, okay? I'm going to share the examples so we can clearly see what we need to do. And we'll go through the exam. Well, we're going to go through the listening technique. And it's important to look at the listening techniques that you guys can develop, so these questions become easier, especially when you have a level test, or if you end up taking an exam like Cambridge or IELTS. These are the sort of things that it doesn't matter what level you are, these are always going to be really good exam tips. So I'm just going to share all the things that we need to look at, and then we'll begin the next bit. We're okay for time as well. Here we go. Okay. So this is something that you can end up finding in an exam. You've got the missing word, or maybe sometimes missing words. And you kind of think to yourself, what is it going to be? Well, this is the exam technique you need to look at. When you look at blanks like this, you need to think of what type of word can I use to complete this, or what type of words would naturally go with it. So let's say she's coming. John says she's come. Yes, she's coming. She's just parking. See, it comes so naturally. She's coming. She's just the car. Okay. Automatically, we need to think of, okay, what type of word do I need? Is it an adjective? Is it a noun? And what does it go? Exactly, Sandra, perfect. Parking the car. We can see here, it's parking the car. That's the verb that goes with the car bit, okay? So even before we have listened to this, we can begin to think of, okay, what type of word normally goes? And you can write down your predicted answer. And if you write down your predicted answer in pencil, it means that if you can hear if you're right or wrong straight away. Stefano, parking will be will. Well, will Kate liked? Think again, Stefano. We've got liked. Will Kate liked? If it was will Kate like, that might flow, but you've got will, which is a modal verb, usually talking about the future, and then we've got this past liked. I'm going to give you guys a hint. We have looked at that type of language earlier this week. Think of your participle clause. Think about what type of verb you could use. Is this Is this, do we need the past participle or do we need a present participle? So that one is very much for upper intermediates. I'm not going to lie. Let's see about B. Oh, sorry. C. Sorry, I was thinking about C. B. Okay, so yes, sorry. Stefano, I completely misread. I thought your answer for B was answer C, so my mistake. But okay, B with will. If we look at the sentence, I'm sure she will enjoy her birthday. So you can see that if you say will, it works, it flows. You could make a sentence. So we could use will as an example. Well, as Kate liked, okay, as is not a bad idea for C because it works. So it's a possible answer. It might not be the answer, but you can see that as definitely works because it makes sense. If you're wrong, you will hear that you're wrong. D, let's see. Okay, Stefano says used to. Let's see. Okay, you can see that the construction of the sentence, you can use used to. It would make sense. It might not be the answer, but it's a good prediction because if it works grammatically, it could be the answer. To be honest, I never liked them as okay, you've gone with always. Again, always makes sense. It is an adverb of frequency. You can use it. It might not be the correct answer, but when you predict the answer, it automatically helps your listening. And then last one, that is great because I also, okay, so here we're just thinking about that. We know this sort of thing is going to be either that or which based on the construction. But what is the listening technique here? The listening technique is to predict the answer. By writing your prediction, it helps you to listen specifically if you're right or wrong. Because if you're right, you will hear that you're right. If you're wrong, you will hear you are wrong. And that is why predicting the answer is so important. And when you have this type of blank sort of thing, write down your predictions using pencil. It's a very important exam technique. So when you have 30 seconds before before hearing the listening, take that 30 seconds to write down your predicted answers. And if you're not even sure what the answer is, write down to hear if you're thinking of maybe a time. Maybe it's a time. Maybe it's a noun. Maybe it's a phrase. Even if you don't know, if you can't think of what the exact answer might be, give yourself an idea so you can help your listening. So you can listen for specific answers. So with that, I'm going to read the conversation, and you guys need to listen. Okay, I will say it twice, and then just leave your answers in the comment section. If you're right, we'll see. Let's go. So we've got, hi, John. Nice to see you. Where's Kate? She's coming. She's just parking the car. How is the birthday girl? She's good. She had a good week, and I'm sure she'll enjoy her birthday barbecue that you have kindly organized. Well, knowing Kate liked Spice Girls as a child, I chose to organize a Spice Girl themed barbecue. That's a point. How long was she into the Spice Girls? Well, I remember between the ages of 5 and 12, she used to listen to them all the time. To be honest, I never liked them, as I've always preferred rock and roll. As my room was next to hers, I had to put up with it. Well, I can tell you, Kate still listens to them sometimes, but these days she listens to more rock and roll, which is great because I also like that style of music. Actually, she was listening to this new band in the car on our way over that sounded a lot like Led Zeppelin. By any chance, was it Greta Van Fleet? Yes, that's right. They're a young band and they are really good. It's true, they sound similar to Led Zeppelin, but they have their own unique style. Okay, so we've got some first-time answers. C, mostly. Okay, I'll tell you what, guys. I'm going to read it one more time, and then let's see. Okay, I'll give you an idea, guys. With C, think of a verb, and think of a lesson that we did on Tuesday. You need to think of a participle clause. So it's either a verb with ing, or it's just your past participle verb. Okay, let's go again. Hi, John. Nice to see you. Where is Kate? She's coming. She's just parking the car. How is the birthday girl? She's good. She had a good weekend. She had a good week, and I'm sure she'll enjoy her birthday barbecue that you have kindly organized. Well, knowing Kate liked Spice Girls as a child, I chose to organize a Spice Girl themed barbecue. That's a point. How long was she into these Spice Girls? Well, I remember between the ages of 5 and 12, she used to listen to them all the time. To be honest, I never liked them, as I've always preferred rock and roll. As my room was next to hers, I had to put up with it. Well, I can tell you, Kate still listens to them sometimes, but these days she listens to more rock and roll, which is great because I also like that style of music. Actually, she was listening to this new band in the car on our way over. That sounded a lot like Led Zeppelin. By any chance, was it Greta Van Fleet? Yes, that's right. They're a young band and they are really good. It's true, they sound similar to Led Zeppelin, but they have their own unique style. So, let's see. Sandra has changed her answer to C, knowing. You are correct. It is knowing. Knowing, Kate. So let's go through. Okay, A is parking. B is will. So well done there, Stephanos. C, well done, Sandra. Knowing. Uh, D, well, I remember between the ages of 5 and 12, she. Now, this is where Stefano went for used to. Sandra's gone for is. Okay, looking at that, you've got, well, I remember between the ages of 5 and 12, she is list. No, if you use is, you would have to try and rewrite that sentence so you could use the present continuous, like she is listening. But Kate is not 5 and 12. We know she's not 5 and 12 because she's parking a car, so she has a driving license. And so therefore the answer here is yes, it is used to. So well done to those of you who put used to. E, all of you have gone for always, and that is because you are correct. E is always. F, okay, some of you put with, some of you put that, some of you put which. Okay, I'm going to give you a little idea here, guys. When you see a comma and you're thinking of, is it that or which? If there's a comma, it's going to be which. So F is which. Well done, guys. Really good. Excellent stuff. And that brings us, unfortunately, we've run out of time. There was one more exercise I had prepared. We could always maybe look at that next week to further help your listening. But nonetheless, guys, thank you very much. I mean, this is the first time I've tried to do a developing listening on a YouTube video like this with exercises, and I'm pleased as it's gone well. It's always a question if you guys are going to be able to understand everything without me having a whiteboard or being able to actually speak to you. So I'm delighted that it's worked, and what I'm really pleased is that you guys have really thought about your answers, and some of you have obviously managed to, some of you have done really well. Now, I know that depending on your level, like the higher you are, the more likely you guys are going to be able to do an activity like this. To those of you who are not intermediate or up intermediate watching, thank you very much for participating nonetheless. Yes, well done, Evelina. The only one that you need to change is 6, which is which, instead of that. Other than that, excellent. Well done. Really well done. Thank you very much, Sandra. So, guys, that brings me to the end of the lesson. Thank you so much to all of you who have participated in the live chat, and there were a lot of you today. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really well done. Like the video for yourselves. Give yourself a pat on the back because you've all done really, really well. To all of those of you who are watching but might not have participated in the live chat comment, thank you very much for joining, for watching. If you watch this later, thank you very much. Please leave your comments and some of your answers below. It would be great to see answers below after the lesson. And don't forget, guys, I'm going to share some links of the 3 bands I mentioned: Spice Girls, Led Zeppelin, and Greta Van Fleet. 2 of them you probably already know, but Greta Van Fleet are a new band, and I really recommend them. Really good band, American band. Yes, thank you very much for all your comments in the live chat, and I'm glad that you enjoyed the lesson and you found it helpful. Excellent. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Well, guys, I will be back tomorrow at the same time, 4 o'clock. And tomorrow we're going to look at funny English spelling. We're going to look at pronunciation and spelling, because pronunciation and spelling in English is slightly strange. So thank you very much, guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Much appreciated. Enjoy your evening, and bye for now.